considering. As Macon Bibb unveils a new tool to fight blight, another illegal dump site is discovered. But first, Georgia steps up its COVID-19 battle by opening 4 mass vaccination sites statewide. That includes one here in Macon. A live report moments away.
Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News at 5.
Good evening and thank you for watching WGXA News at 5. I'm Greg Lloyd. Well, right now, we're about to show you a live look at the mass vaccination site in Macon. It's the big story today. It's located at the Farmers Market on Eisenhower Parkway. It's one of 4 locations that opened across the state today. And that is where we find our Brittany Miller. She's live tonight with the very latest. Brittany?
Greg, this farmers market is jam-packed. You can see all the cars behind me, but that's not even the half. There is a line wrapped around the farmers market and down Eisenhower Parkway. A state trooper we talked to said throughout the day it's taken visitors as long as 2 hours to reach the front of the line. But according to Georgia Emergency Management Agency, the average wait time is about an hour. That's how long we've been here. And though this wait is long, I haven't seen a single car turn around to get out of this line. And Greg, despite all this vaccine traffic, the farmers market is still open. Now, Georgia Emergency Management is the lead agency in this effort, and they tell us that they maxed out on registrations yesterday. That's 1,100 people. As of 30 minutes ago, over 900 Middle Georgians have been through the line and gotten their shot. And right now, since it's 5 o'clock, that means this site is officially closed, but you can see there's still lots of cars. GEMA says that anyone who has an appointment for today will receive their shot, so they're prepared to be here for a while. I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany Gray, who's live in Albany at their vaccination site. Tiffany.
Yes, now this facility just closed moments ago, but you would think in a city that was once 3rd in the world with the most number of COVID-19 cases, that the number of people wanting to receive the vaccine would be through the roof. However, according to officials, that has not been the case.
For our community to have been through what it's been through, we need to make sure that we are driving people here every single day. I want it to look like a stadium parking lot on Super Bowl Sunday.
Today was the first day of operation for the new mass vaccination site here in Dougherty County. This free drive-through site is open to anyone in Southwest Georgia who qualify. With this site being open to so many, officials are concerned that they have seen so little turnout.
So compared to the other 3 sites, we have not seen near as much traffic here at the Albany site.
Since the turnout has been slow, officials have made the process even easier. Now you no longer have to make an appointment. You can just show up to begin the vaccination process.
It's a very quick process from the time that you get to the door till the time you get to a shot in your arm is about 6 minutes.
According to Rodriguez Presley, the site has the capacity to do 1,100 vaccinations each day. With the number of scheduled vaccinations for the week nowhere near that number, officials continuously urge to the community that the vaccination is ensured to be safe and effective.
We have not seen anyone today with a reaction at any of the sites.
How many people have died of COVID versus how many people have died of the vaccination? If you have questions, go to the CDC website, get reliable information. If you have a question, call your physician, talk to the doctors.
Now, there were 47 people scheduled to receive the vaccination here today. Now, this site is located on the Georgia Forestry site and open on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reporting live in Albany, I'm Tiffany Gray.
All right, thank you, Tiffany and Brittany. And Governor Kemp's team is wanting Georgians to sign up for appointments to receive their vaccination. Residents across the state, including Southwest Georgia, you can call the number on your screen to schedule an appointment. You may also go online to myvaccinegeorgia.com. And now, as that mass vaccination sites are opening, those mass vaccination sites, 1.5 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine has been given in Georgia. That came from Governor Brian Kemp this morning at the GEMA headquarters, along with the Macon and Albany sites. 2 other mass sites opened in Fulton and Habersham counties. The goal is to give 1,100 shots per day at all 4 sites for the first 3 weeks, then to ramp that number up to 2,200. Governor Kemp says that right now the focus needs to remain on Georgia's senior citizens.
We will continue to focus on how we can prevent 85% of future deaths, and that's by getting as many shots into the arms of seniors as we possibly can, as quickly as we can.
Now, Georgia Department of Transportation workers are on standby to help out should traffic backups result at any of the 4 sites. At 6:15 this evening, President Joe Biden will hold a moment of silence and light a candle for the 500,000 Americans who have now died from COVID-19. The grim milestone of 500,000 deaths from the coronavirus happened moments ago. First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff are also scheduled to take part. The White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says Biden wants to use his own voice and platform to make a moment to remember those people who have lost their lives. All right, this morning's rain, it has moved on, leaving us with a dry evening. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Cox is working on that part of your forecast right now. Good evening to you, Jeff.
Greg, good evening to you and good evening, everyone. Yes, another day with clouds and rain across the mid-state. Thankfully, not an all-day rain. Tonight, that rain is gone. And as you can see on the campus of GMC in Warner Robins, a few peaks of sunshine sneaking through from time to time. Certainly not a clear afternoon. We'll take what little sunshine we can get. I think the next couple of days, wall-to-wall sunshine, so something you can look forward to. 67 right now with a northwest wind in Warner Robins. Looking at temperatures from across the mid-state, the 60s are very common. Check out Americus, though, overachieving at 70. I'll tell you now, that's a sign of things to come in the long-term forecast. If you're a fan of spring-like temperatures, you'll certainly want to stay tuned. But the 60s, that's generally what we have right now, and that'll stick around for the next little bit, but eventually 50s taking over. I think we're down to around 50 by 10 o'clock, but notice by that point we do have a clear sky. And with that clear sky, we should manage to get into the upper 30s by tomorrow morning. All right, later in this half hour, what are we talking about? Well, just how wet has it been? Again, we had another day with rain today. We'll talk about the stats so far this year. On top of that, I'm already tracking more wet weather. I'll have the timing on that. And those warmer days I talked about, they're on the way. When they get here and for how long. I've got that plus the 10-day forecast coming up. Greg?
That's exciting news to me, Jeff. Thanks a lot. And keep an eye on the spring-like temperatures in this forecast. Just download the WGXA weather app right now from your app store. It's free, and Jeff is back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast. Well, Georgia coal ash is back on the agenda for the Georgia General Assembly. Georgia Power gave legislators an update on closure plans. Meanwhile, a new bill is being debated that would specify the closure process. Our Aaron Wise is here now with more updates. Now, Aaron, what's the closure plan look like right now for Plant Scherer in Monroe County?
Greg, according to EPD, Georgia Power has applied for a permit for Plant Scherer's coal ash pond to be closed by dewatering the pond, stabilizing it, and putting a cap on it, leaving the coal ash residue there. This is one form of closure. The second form consists of draining the pond, then removing the residue to a lined landfill. Those who've been working to secure clean water in Monroe County after reported contamination from the plant don't really agree with the closure plan for Plant Scherer's coal ash pond.
We want to remove the waste out of the equation. We don't want to have that waste mixing in the aquifer. Specifically at Plant Scherer, you have a lot of people living down gradient of that submerged ash.
With closure in place, the groundwater will have to be monitored for 30 years after closure, which isn't expected to happen until 2029 at Plant Scherer. If the operation of the closure in place isn't working to EPD standards, the department can take enforcement actions, even requiring the residue to be moved somewhere else. Sams tells me running the risk of electing to do closure in place and it not working to only have to come back and excavate the ash, which could be done now, doesn't seem like a good way to spend ratepayers' money. Now, I reached out to Georgia Power for their response to the concerns over the ash pond's closure. The statement they gave me read in part that Georgia Power had followed all state and federal guidelines when coming up with their closure plans. It went on to say that the EPA has determined both closure processes are safe and protect the environment. The permit for this closure has not been approved by EPD yet. However, that is expected to happen sometime this year. Greg.
Hey, Aaron, thank you for that update. And following a deadly fire this weekend, local leaders issuing an important reminder for us all. That's coming up after the break.